The capture of Kufra, Prise de Koufra, was part of the Allied Western Desert Campaign during World War II. Kufra is a basin and oasis group in the Kufra District of southeastern Cyrenaica in the Libyan desert. In 1940 it was in the colony of Libia Italiana, part of Africa Settentrionale Italiana, established in 1934. The battle from the 31st of January to the 1st of March 1941 resulted in the capture of Kufra by Free French forces and the British long-range desert group from the Italian and Libyan garrison. Background: Kufra, in the Libyan desert sub-region of the Sahara, was an important trade and travel center for the nomadic desert peoples of the region, including Berbers and Senussi. The Senussi made the oasis the capital at one point in response to British, Italian, and French designs on the region. In 1931, the Kingdom of Italy captured Kufra and incorporated it into the Italian North Africa colonization of the Maghreb. The Italian post at Kufra included the Bouma airfield and a radio station, used for air supply and communications with Italian East Africa, and a fort at the nearby village of El Tag. Prelude: after the defeat of France in 1940, the colony of French Equatorial Africa declared its allegiance to Free France. The exile government headed by Charles de Gaulle, Chad, the northern part of Africa, borders Libya. De Gaulle ordered the Free French in Chad to attack Italian positions in Libya. Kufra was the obvious target. The Free French commander in Chad, Lieutenant Colonel Jean Colonna d'Ornano. The troops available were 5,000 tirailleurs of the Senegalese Light Infantry Regiment of Chad in 20 companies in different garrisons, also 3 detachments of Meharists, in Borka to Bastille and Enedi. Attacking Kufra would be very difficult for this motley force. The Free French had very little motor transport and needed to cross 400 kilometers of desert, much of which was sand dunes of the fine, powdery soil called fetch. The area was considered by some to be impassable to vehicles. The French received assistance from the British long-range desert group, a reconnaissance and raiding unit formed to operate reconnaissance patrols and intelligence missions behind the Italian lines. They were experts in desert navigation. Major Pat Clayton of LRDG was keen to join with the Free French to test the Italians. Clayton commanded G Guard and T Patrol of LRDG, a total of 76 men in 26 vehicles. To prepare for the attack on Kufra, the LRDG and Free French first raided the Italian airfield at Merzik, in the Territorio Sahara Libico-Fezzan region in southwestern Libya. D'Ornano and 10 Free French met Clayton's LRDG patrols on 6 January 1941 at Cayuge. The combined force reached Merzik on the 11th of January and in a daring daylight raid, surprised the sentries and devastated the base. Most of the force attacked the main fort. A troop from T Patrol under Lieutenant Ballantyne attacked the airfield, destroying 3 Caproni aircraft and capturing some prisoners. D'Ornano was killed in this raid along with 1 troop of T Patrol. A French officer cauterized his leg wound with a cigarette, much to the admiration of the LRDG. A diversionary raid by French camel cavalry failed after it was betrayed by local guides. These troops were relegated to reconnaissance duties only. Battle: Colonel Philippe Leclerc assumed command in place of D'Ornano. After the success of the Merzik raid, Leclerc marshaled his forces to take on Kufra. The attacking column included about 400 men in 60 trucks, 2 Lafley S-15 tow armored cars, 4 Lafley S-15 all-terrain carriers and 2 75mm mountain guns. Kufra was protected by 2 defensive lines around the the El-Tag fort with barbed wire, trenches, machine guns and light anti-aircraft guns. The Regio Esercito forces in the fort were the 59th and 60th Machine Gun Companies, with a total of 280 Askari, colonial infantry and an Auto-Saharan company, the Compagnia Sahariana di Koufra. The Saharan companies were a mixed force of motorized infantry with well-armed off-road vehicles, which could also call on the Regia Aeronautica for support. The Compagnia Sahariana in Kufra was around 120 men strong. Leclerc asked the LRDG to deal with the Saharan company, based in El-Tag fort in Kufra oasis. The LRDG was detected by a radio intercept unit at Kufra, and the Italians organized a mobile column of 40 men, 1 AS-37 and 4 Fiat 634 lorries to intercept them. Patrol had been kept in reserve. On the 31st of January, Major Clayton was at Bishara, south-southwest of Kufra, with Patrol. The patrol was spotted by an Italian aeroplane in the morning. Patrol took cover in a small wadi at Gebel Shara, a few kilometers north. The plane directed the Saharan patrol to attack the LRDG force. Due to superior Italian firepower, the Italian vehicles were armed with 20mm cannons and constant air attack. Patrol was driven off, losing 4 trucks and Major Clayton, who was captured with several others. Trooper Ronald Moore led other survivors to safety after a long foot march. The remaining LRDG force withdrew to Egypt for refitting, except for one vehicle of Patrol, equipped for desert navigation. During the fight, First Lieutenant Caputo, in command of the Saharan company, was killed, as were 2 Libyan soldiers. Leclerc pressed on with his attack, even though the Italians had a copy of his plan which they had captured with Major Clayton. After conducting further reconnaissance, Leclerc reorganized his forces on the 16th of February. He abandoned his 2 armored cars and took with him the remaining serviceable artillery piece, a crucial decision. Only about 350 men reached Kufra, due to breakdowns of trucks on the march. Aware of the advancing French, the Italians organized once more a strong mobile column from the Saharan company. On the 17th of February, Leclerc's forces met the Sahariana north of Kufra. Despite losing many trucks to the 20mm guns of the Italian AS-37 cars, the French drove the Saharianas off. As the Kufra garrison failed to intervene, the French surrounded El-Tag and laid siege to the fort, despite another attack by the Saharianas and harassment from the air. The 75mm gun was placed 3,000 meters from the fort, beyond range of the defenders, and fired 20 shells per day at regular intervals from different places, to give the appearance of more guns. Some 81mm mortars were placed 1,500 meters from the fort and bombed the Italian positions in order to add pressure on the defenders. Italian surrender. The fort was commanded by an inexperienced reserve captain, who lacked the will and the determination to fight. Surrender negotiations began on the 28th of February, and on the 1st of March 1941, the Italian garrison of 11 officers, 18 NCOs and 273 Libyan soldiers surrendered El-Tag and the Kufra oasis to the Free French. During the siege, the Italian garrison had suffered 1 Italian officer killed, 2 Libyan soldiers killed and 4 wounded. The French had 4 dead and 21 wounded. The Italian garrison was permitted to withdraw to the northwest, and the French forces took over as far as 37 autocarro Sahariano light trucks, 6 lorries, 4 20mm cannon and 53 machine guns. Orders of battle. Oath of Kufra. After the fall of Kufra, Leclerc and his troops swore an oath to fight until our flag flies over the Cathedral of Strasbourg. Swear not to lay down arms until our colors, our beautiful colors, float on the Strasbourg Cathedral. The oath was fulfilled on the 23rd of November 1944, when Leclerc and the French 2nd Armored Division liberated Strasbourg.